All right, hey people, Russ Jensen. So it's 12:45 p.m. on the 15th day of January 2017 here in the beautiful Republic of Utah, out here in the dirt of the republics. Now, I left off yesterday talking once again about the importance of establishing whether or not our Constitution for the United States of America, 1787 and then amended in 1789, is valid or not. It matters. It is everything. In fact, there isn't another political discussion that should be been going on until that issue is properly addressed. Hmm? It's the point that everything else turns upon. Okay? Now, I know people say, yeah, well, it is, Russ, it applies. And I'm like, yeah, but why aren't they doing all the provisions of it? Well, because, no, there is no because. It's a contract. Hmm? All or nothing. It is everything. In fact, I'm going to read real quickly here, and I'll put it up at the end here. Two short Supreme Court case holdings from the inferior legislatively creative Supreme Court, Judiciary Act of 1789. Also, it's authorized in Article 1, Section 8, Clause 10. Law of Nations, Book 1, Section 165 talks about creating a Supreme Court. Okay? But anyways, okay. That document cannot just be set aside. Provisions of it cannot just be sort of, well, we apply it today, it doesn't apply tomorrow. It's a living document, all that bullshit that these people are doing. Okay? They don't have legitimate authority. That's a big deal. There's only two options. Okay? They have illegitimate authority, and they operate as a criminal enterprise, or they have engaged in take over the country. The United States, they've overturned the United States of America that was created, the United States that was created by that document. Aren't any other options. Okay? So, this first case from 1957, okay, so it's still pretty recent. Read the covert. It would be manifestly contrary to the objectives of those who created the Constitution, let alone alien to our constitutional history and tradition, to construe Article 6, the Supremacy Clause, as permitting the United States to exercise power under an international agreement without observing constitutional prohibitions. In effect, such construction would permit amendment of that document in a manner not sanctioned by Article 5. The prohibitions of the Constitution were designed to apply to all branches of the national government, and they cannot be nullified by the executive or by the executive and the Senate combined. Back in 1886 was another case, Norton v. Shelby. An unconstitutional act is not law. It confers no right. It imposes no duties. It affords no protection. It creates no office. It is, in legal contemplation, as inoperative as though it had never been passed. Now, that's important for us on a lot of levels. We start to understand how it is that they try to bring us into their jurisdiction by claiming that you took voluntary use of a Social Security number that they assigned to you, actually force it through your parents onto you, claim that you voluntarily entered into their territorial rule by using Federal Reserve notes, by having a federally FDIC insured bank, by signing all kinds of government documents claiming you're a U period S period citizen. But those are that's an unconstitutional act to try to bring you into a jurisdiction you haven't consented to. The consent I have given is be governed through the Constitution of the United States of America, 1787, and one in 1789, United States. That's it. Okay? Now, our right of necessity I keep talking about, which is located in Article 1, Section 8, Clause 10, Book Law of Nations, Book 2, Section 116, and 117, and 119. But we'll talk mainly about the right of necessity, which is Section 117. Okay? which gives the performance of certain actions that are otherwise unlawful. Also gives us the performance of do any action that's required in order to meet one of our indispensable obligations. Any necessary means. Life. Now, they haven't given us a choice. Use that number. They don't give you a choice to use something besides Federal Reserve notes. In fact, every organization that's tried to present some alternative has been infiltrated, prosecuted. So my right of necessity for survival in the society requires I have to have those things, especially to meet my duty of maintaining the public tranquility. Run around without a driver's license, try to operate without a social security number, possible today, but those then become breaches of peace. It can be. Just because I have one doesn't mean I've consented to your territorial governance. And the fact that you guys in government are not honoring the provisions out here in my state, because that's where everybody lives, is in a state of the union. You are a de jure state citizen. There's no such thing as a U period S period citizen. Okay? Even if you're in one of the territories, the real ones, you're a citizen of Puerto Rico, of Guam, of American Samoa. Aren't you? So, my state sovereigns are violating a known duty to make nothing but gold and silver coin in payment of debt. They cannot enter into an international agreement, because that's what that would be if they were acting with the sovereign state governments and the Congress, since every nation state, every republic, every state of the union is an independent nation state. They are foreign to one another. Utah is as foreign to Texas as Utah is foreign to England. Okay, that intergovernmental departmental compact that they made in 1937 is an international treaty, an international agreement. And their own United States Supreme Court in Reed v. Colbert, 1957, stated that what? An international agreement must be observed, must be judged against constitutional prohibitions. Constitution prohibits anything but gold and silver coin to be made in payment of debt. I'm not in one of your territories. That's why the right of necessity becomes very powerful for us. Okay, I had to take those numbers. I had to do those things. It doesn't grant you jurisdiction. Even if you had lawful constitutional jurisdictions, which you do not right now. There's not a single lawful constitutional jurisdiction anywhere in the United States of America. That landmass, the 50 federated states, there isn't. Not one. Okay? We have a gigantic constitutional crisis, people. I don't care if you believe me or not, that's fact. That's why it's so important we ask the simple question. Is the Constitution, the United States of America, as written in 1787 and then it was amended in 1789 to become the Constitution of the United States, the Declaration of Independence, are those still valid documents? They're full force and effect, with authority, creating a jurisdiction in which the government is to operate. No jurisdiction, no authority. No authority. We talked about yesterday a little bit what happens when a court or a person, man, woman, acting in the capacity of a governmental agent, doesn't act without a proper jurisdictional authority. They have none. Everything they've done is null and void. Cases must be dismissed. So, yeah, that question, that simple, single question, is the Constitution valid, yes or no? And then we're going to ask that into their courts. And if it is, it should be simple. Mr. Judge, Magistrate, Justice, you could answer it on a Post-it note. Yes or no. I'm not asking you to define anything beyond that. Is it valid, yes or no? Because from where I'm standing in the dirt, it appears to me that it's not valid. And I believe, as one of the members of society that is consenting to be governed, I have a right, and a perfect right, to compel you, Mr. Government Agent, to tell me what jurisdiction you're operating. What is the law spoken? What is your authority? So that's it for today. Your right of necessity to survive, to take care of yourself, your families, also flows over into the use of these certain substances, which they cannot deny you the use of. If that happens to be what you deem necessary and proper for you to save your children. Okay? Now, I can't tell anybody if their Controlled Substance Acts at the federal level, even the state, same thing, but I haven't talked about that yet, apply to you or not. I don't know if you're one of their people or not. Okay? I don't know if Title 18 applies to you or not. Okay? That's a decision you have to make. That's why I don't tell people, hey, you don't have to pay taxes. Sure, we all have a duty to pay taxes if it applies to us in our situation. That's why it's important. You've got to understand who you are and if it applies to you or not. The information is there. That's why they write these legislative acts with 10 million fucking pages in them. You can't find that. They put it there. They have a duty. They honor that part of it. They claim that they, people claim that they don't, but it's there. You have to search for it. Fortunately, most of that's been found. Okay, be in my books, a number of other books, some of these other places I'm going to be putting links up to, but it's important. Okay, you need to understand who and what you are. Okay? Later on, we'll be talking more about the whole money issue because that's what everything turns upon at this point. Is that gold and silver coin? The fact that they aren't operating under that prohibition of the Constitution, they don't have lawful authority. They don't have to change the whole monetary system, just have to remove the interest. Banks can get service fees like the rest of us, earn their money, okay? And understand that you are the money. Pieces of paper are not money. Shells are not money. Diamonds, gold, whatever is not money. You're the money. Your life force energy, the sovereign power that you have been delegated from your creator, whoever, whatever that might be, your life force energy through your indispensable obligation of engaging in commerce, converting energy from one form to another. The amount of those pieces of paper you have is representative of your productive capacity. The amount of your life force energy you converted into value into your society. You're the money. Okay? They can't create fictional money and do all the shit that they're doing. Okay? They don't have permission to do that. So I'll stop now and get off on these rants. I apologize for that. I try to keep these short, but hopefully next week I have some people come help me make some better. But this important information, is the Constitution valid, yes or no? That's the only question we have to be asking right now. Nothing else matters. Okay? And I'll come back later, maybe tomorrow, and talk about what you can have conversation be having in your local justice court with that guy sitting up there about whether or not the Constitution is valid or not, and what that means, what you can do. So, all right, love everybody. Have a good day. I'll talk to you later.